The mics are hot, and so's the gossip. Let's get into it in 3. Welcome to In 3. I am Danielle Graham.
And I'm Kylie.
And I know we say this every week. We so love hearing from you. We have never had more feedback on a topic than we had over last week's episode where we talked about passing gas in front of your partner and all the bathroom things.
Lots of bathroom talk in the DMs.
Yes.
And lots of shares. I do appreciate everyone. There was all kinds of opinions, most of them challenging us. It is kind of unique that we have the same perspective on this, where we both don't share bathroom situations with our partner.
That's right.
And then I got the stomach flu this weekend.
It's like a little bit poetic.
Like, it was actually the universe served up an explosive situation. Okay, so I'll give you the lay of the land. Not only did I get the stomach flu this weekend, but I was also staying in a small cabin in Collingwood with my husband and one of my closest friends and their partner with one bathroom.
Oh.
And that one bathroom shared a very, very tiny, very thin little wall with my bedroom that I was sharing with my husband.
Was there a fan?
There was no fan.
Oh God.
There was no radio. There was just no background noise. We're in the middle of this beautiful wilderness.
Right.
Not a bird, ne'er a seagull.
Praying for a cicada at this point.
Something, a cricket, some frogs, whatever. So we took our relationship to new levels this weekend. Anyway, I just thought it was funny that was the conversation we had. Our community was really fired up about it. Then here I am with the Montezuma's revenge.
Oh God. Well, I'm glad you're here and back and feeling better.
We're back.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And you're not contagious anymore because you cannot bring that over here.
No.
Because if I go through what I went through again with my kids and a flu situation, I won't survive.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I got it from you. Okay.
Good point. I was actually
the joys of being neighbors.
I was worried about you with this news because I was checking in on you over the weekend and you weren't feeling well. But then I was also worried about you because there are rumors that Kylie and Timmy may have broken up, and I was like, oh my God, is Kylie going to be okay with this?
So like I literally had to protect my peace this weekend.
I know.
Because I was really under the weather, and I was seeing things come up, and I was literally just like, I never ignore headlines because I always want to know. We need to know. And I'm always like, amalgamating these topics.
Yes.
And I was like, nope, not today. Not today, Kylie and Timmy. We're not doing this today. And I would just like fast forward through it basically.
Because you didn't even send them to me. That's the other thing.
Because it can't be
real. You were the emoji of the hear no evil and see no evil and all of that. You were not having any part of it. So she turned 28, which still really shocks me.
Yeah. 28 was a good year.
28 is a great year, but in my mind, she's 38. Always. You will never convince me she's 28, but she apparently turned 28. Where the rumors are coming from, he didn't post about her birthday. I know, not really his thing anyway, but he did post something else on his stories that day that was unrelated to her and her birthday. She posted some slides with some like melancholy breakup-y music.
Yeah.
And that's where people are starting to think that something might be up.
Yeah. So if it had just been the stuff about, okay, Timmy didn't post, Timothee Chalamet, like A, he doesn't have a social media strategy. B, they've never been public like that with their relationship. So like that doesn't bother me. Also, he's in Prague filming Dune.
That's right.
He has been since the end of May.
Right.
So like he's kind of off the planet. So them not being seen together wasn't really bothering me. I do feel like everybody, especially the celebrities, especially the Kardashian style celebrities, use social media in strategic ways to convey messages. And so not only did she use melancholy music with sort of like breakup lyrics as the background of a few stories, but she also posted one of those ones where like the lyrics pop up.
Oh.
So you could see the lyrics. And it was... like about crying and Loving never did me no good, no how style.
Okay, this is where you'll convince me she's 28. This
That
is 28-year-old behavior.
This is 28-year-old Kardashian coded. So maybe she's in her feels, but she looked really happy.
Yeah.
Maybe she's in her feels because he's like unavailable to her right now, because he is kind of method and he's on set for Dune and he takes that stuff really seriously. So it could just be that she's lonely and in her feels. And,
Yes.
And like, you know, kind of creating this, you know how we do sometimes at 28, like frontal lobes not fully formed. It could just be that she's in her feels.
I'm just going to quote one of my favorite television characters of all time ever.
So what is this, The Office?
It's Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a lie if you believe it, George.
I'm going with it.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
Wait, do you think they're broken up?
No, I don't. I'm with you. I think you're right. The fact that he was absent from her birthday dinner makes sense because he is on set. As we know, there's a time difference. Hours on set are extremely long. They can be overnights.
Yeah.
He could just be inaccessible.
Yeah.
But who is going strong?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Nicola Peltz Beckham and Brooklyn Peltz Beckham.
As strong as I guess you could be.
Well, listen,
Strong.
after 3 years of marriage, they felt the need to renew those vows. Yes,
a whole wedding.
A whole ass wedding
With a whole ass gown.
With a whole ass like bridal party and
with a
flower
whole
girls.
ass family missing.
Her whole ass family there.
Yeah.
Looking like, do we really need to do this again? Didn't you guys just get married 3 years ago?
Did this.
Yeah. His whole ass family, not there.
Right.
Just a one-sided wedding.
You're right.
Yes. David and Victoria on a yacht.
With the rest of the Beckham crew.
At the time of this vow renewal.
Yes. And posting as Victoria does.
Yep.
But posting very intentionally, very like family connected pictures of everybody else together, loved up as a family on a yacht.
That's right.
Meanwhile, Brooklyn and Nicola are having a whole ass second wedding.
Yes.
Within 3 years.
My question is, was this vow renewal always planned or did they go ahead with this vow renewal because they want to once again show the world it's us against the world and we are so galvanized and we are so together and it's you and me, baby?
I think maybe it's been planned for the last like little while. That's not something you just toss up. Like that gown, that was her mother's gown apparently. And she reimagined it and redesigned it and all. Like that's not something that happens overnight. So it's definitely been something in the works.
You could do this in 3 months.
You could do this in 3 months.
Yep.
And I definitely think that I definitely think it's a response to the Beckham stuff.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you know, we know that the whole feud originated on their first wedding night.
That's right.
Or in the lead up to their first wedding.
All wedding related.
Everything was wedding.
Yeah.
So we know that, you know, Nicola and Victoria had a disagreement about the dress. We know that there was maybe something the night of with Mark Anthony not introducing Nicola, but introducing Victoria as the most beautiful woman in the world or in the room, whichever. And so I think, and based on a lot of their captions from this vow renewal, it seems like this was, let's do it again without the toxic people.
A do-over.
A do-over. So there was like a lot of captions like only love in the room. There was a lot of comments from friends. Thanks for having me. Loved being one of your supporters. Like it was very much like, I believe they did this so that she could have a do-over without having Victoria there, basically.
So she's reclaiming her wedding.
Yes.
It's a reclamation.
Yes.
Wow.
And I think that would be the only reason. Why else would you have a renewal within 3 years?
Why
this was just a complete do-over.
This is what I think about the vow renewal. Number one, I zoomed in on some of the family members and they look annoyed.
Yeah. They're like, why are we here?
Guys.
It's 1,000,000 degrees.
Like I haven't even picked up my dry cleaning from your first wedding. It was like 5 minutes ago. But okay. So that part, I think it's an odd number to renew. I guess you can renew at any point, but 3 doesn't feel like
nothing to do with that.
And also, I just don't get the vow renewal. If you want to do it just you and your partner for whatever reasons you want to do that, but to have to like rally all these people together to do it again is so ridiculous to me. And also, I think if you're going to do those kind of things, for me, they're always like, let's wait for life to serve you up some stuff.
Sure.
You know, let's have like some, like, I don't want anybody to experience illness, job loss,
Sure.
financial struggles or whatever.
Yes.
But like, that's where your marriage is tested.
Right.
Speaking from some experiences
Yes.
here, where you're like, you know what?
I want to just tell the world how much, like, how much we've been through and how strong we are at the end of it all.
Yeah, let life come for you a little bit, and then, you know, declare to the world that it's and then let's have this like re-upping of your marriage. We do that on our anniversary. I'll say, you want to go for another year? He's like, yeah, I'm in. I'm like, cool. And that's it.
That's so schmoops for you guys. I actually love that.
I did it when I was like walking up the stairs and he was in the kitchen. I'm like, good for another year, bud? He's like, I'm in.
Oh,
that's it.
I have a different perspective because I could use a do-over.
Oh, fair. I thought you were going to say you renewed your vows and didn't invite me, and I was going to be tell me, and I was going to be a little bit annoyed.
Absolutely not.
I was at your wedding, and it was great
until it wasn't.
Until
I
went sideways.
An extremely traumatic experience at my wedding.
You did.
My wedding wasn't a real, for those who don't know, it wasn't like a whole wedding. We didn't walk down an aisle. There was no ceremony. We did City Hall, and then we did a party which started at 8 p.m.
So fun
until 10 p.m., which was only like, you know, just a short amount of time after it started. The cops showed up because there was some kind of an issue, altercation that I didn't even know, I wasn't even aware of. And they shut down my wedding at 10.
It's so devastating.
So, and then I proceeded to lose an entire whole friendship over it, which was like, it took me years to heal from that.
Years.
So if Nicola wants to go toe to toe on what a real toxic wedding looks like, I will see your, you know, most beautiful woman in the room moment with Mark Anthony, and I'll raise you the cops, potential charges being laid, like, the whole thing ending at 10 p.m. and never speaking to my best friend again.
Who stood wrong and strong on it.
Yeah. It was bad.
It was really bad. Was there any like legal implications too, possibly with?
There could have been if the people who were involved had decided to press charges, which they didn't. There was a lot of fines, and it was very upsetting for my whole family. And still remains to be like one of the worst nights of my life, which is so sad. So we actually might do a vow renewal next year for our 10-year.
Oh, yeah. I would love that.
And it's like, it's not really for the vow renewal. Like, we know we're good. We don't really need to declare that. Everybody knows we're good.
You guys are real
But
good.
I think like we also would like a do-over. But we've waited 10 years. Like, we didn't need to do it year 3 to prove a point. Like,
right.
You know, we're going to wait a reasonable amount of time, and like a 10-year makes sense. A 3-year kind of doesn't.
Right.
Whether or not I believe Brooklyn and Nicola are like right or wrong in this, obviously they feel super strongly about what happened between them and his family.
Yep.
Does it seem like, you know, they're on an island and nobody else like agrees or understands or like can really figure out why they are taking it to this level? That's not really like, that doesn't mean that shit didn't go down that they're upset about.
Fair.
I think it's really sad. I just continue to think that it's really sad that like to watch the Beckhams be completely ostracized and alienated from this event for Victoria, for David, like
to watch this from your phone.
I feel like, oh my God, I'm heartbroken for them.
100%.
And it just feels really dramatic. But again, as someone who had a horrible wedding experience, I would also like a do-over.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
If you do have this vow renewal, I promise not to eat all the food, which I was accused of doing at your wedding because I was so pregnant and somebody came up.
You were like 9 months. You were like literally 9 months pregnant.
Oh, I was gigantic, and
you're a trooper for even showing up.
Are you kidding me? I wouldn't have missed it.
And you wore a cute little tight dress. You looked great.
I had to wear the widest sandal I owned because my feet were so swollen. And somebody said, "Are you going to save some of that food for the rest of us?" And I was like, "Did you just?"
Dumbass thing to say.
No, it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I still think it's funny.
It's like it's gone down as like a hall of fame comment in our history.
So great. Well, I want that for you.
And yes.
I fully support your vow renewal.
Thank you.
I would even get all the certification and do it for you if you want.
Stop it right
in a minute.
Well, now I have it recorded.
Now we're doing it.
Oh my God, that's fun.
I love it.
Okay, something to look forward to.
Okay, great.
Love that for us.
Let's line up the show for this week.
Let's do it.
Oh, did we get some good news this week?
Oh my God.
Taylor Swift, new album, The Life of a Showgirl. We have an announcement. We've got information. We've got Travis on the cover of GQ magazine. She's on his podcast. There's so much to talk about.
Crazy.
In the world of Taylor.
Yeah, I did not see this coming, but I love it.
I also love September issue season. There's just so many great articles and covers that come out. Jennifer Aniston is our second topic on the big three. She's on the cover of Vanity Fair.
Crap cover, amazing article.
Could not agree more.
What the hell?
Honestly, and just all the images in general were just, agreed.
She just deserved better.
I agree. In not so happy news, of course, Kelly Clarkson, her ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock, passed away. So we're learning a little bit more about, what the last couple of years have looked like for Kelly. So we're going to talk about Kelly and her family and everything that's kind of transpired.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have to talk about
Demi Lovato and the Joe Bros reuniting on stage for the first time in almost 20 years.
I know.
This isn't necessarily our generation of, we weren't that Disney generation, but the world is freaking out.
Big time.
And Demi's having a big comeback, and I'm a big Demi stan. We've never really talked about it, but I love Demi Lovato. Love to see her back and glowing and all the things. So, and there's a lot of like Jonas adjacent stuff to go through here. We got a lot of juicy things to talk about. Yes.
I love this week already.
Yes.
Okay, at 12:12 on the 12th of August, Taylor Swift announces TS12, The Life of a Showgirl.
Yes.
Perfection.
No notes?
No, I think it was so beautifully delivered. The countdown began on the website, and then we know this album is being released. I think, I don't know how, did anybody crack this code before? Because I know you're sometimes a code cracker. You're out there reading into the numbers.
A couple weeks ago we talked about how I was tracking this like midnight.
Yes.
It was like the 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the next one would be 12.
Yes.
It just came a couple weeks later than we anticipated.
You were really close.
I was on ascent.
You were. You were. You needed a couple more days to like work the evidence.
Yeah, like I had my magnifying glass. I had like my poster board and all my sticky notes, and I was cracking the code for sure.
You were.
What I didn't anticipate is that she was going to be announcing it on Travis's podcast. First of all, Taylor doesn't do interviews at all.
No.
She definitely has never done any podcasts that I know of. I'm obsessed with the decisions that have been made in this kind of announcement.
I agree.
The decision for her to go on Trav's podcast, New Heights, and do this big announcement, I feel like it says so much more about them than it does about anything else. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, the album, great. But like what I'm excited about is just that I think the declaration that this makes about where they're at in their relationship, that first of all, she's in the brand of Travis.
Yes.
Like she wants him to get that exclusive. Like, why give it to, call her daddy,
right,
when you could give it to your man, your family, essentially. Like,
keep it in the house.
It's giving. It's giving. We're building brands together now. And I realized that we've never actually seen them have a conversation. We've seen lip readers try to decode what she was saying at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And we've seen them walking into restaurants.
You're totally
We've seen her watching his game. We've never seen them speak.
Is that why we were so obsessed with these clips from the podcast? I have watched those clips a dozen times, at least each one.
Yeah.
Looking for every little nuance, every little look, every little smirk. And you're right. It does feel a little voyeuristic for some reason.
Yeah, because
we've never seen it.
Oh, that's what it looks like for them to speak together.
Yes.
There's obviously a playfulness between them. He's very kind of silly.
Yeah.
And so is she. She actually has a great sense of humor. She's really fun and funny, and she likes to, for lack of a better word, like take the piss at things.
Yeah.
And I think together, my takeaway was just like that they have a really playful banter, which I love, that sort of unseriousness for her because some of her stuff can get a little bit serious. And also, remember, she's coming out of he's her first relationship after her very serious 6-year relationship with British actor Joe Alwyn.
That's right.
And he, from what I understand, I don't know him personally, but from what I hear, was a very straight, serious actor guy.
Yes.
And
the whole relationship completely concealed too.
Concealed, secrecy, lockdown. And so this feels like the absolute opposite of that. It's fun. It's sweet. He's calling her sweetheart.
That's the part I love.
And they're sort of kibitzing with each other.
Yeah.
And for it to be so like out in the open, front and center, main stage vibes, I think is kind of a cool era for her.
I love the clip because it felt like the pre-roll part of the show where they were doing, and that's where it even felt more intimate. Obviously the new cameras were on and mics are hot, but it was that's such a nice color on you. The color of your eyes, sweetie. And it was just like the way she was looking at him.
For those who can't see, Danielle's like squealing a little bit.
So cute.
Yeah.
What I didn't love is that she was really looking at him and he didn't really make eye contact. I know that's part of the bit probably, but I would
if
love
we're
him.
decoding every
I
body,
would have loved him to just like look
body
over at her and be like,
moment.
it's the color of your eyes, sweetie. Like that locked moment would have been great. What I did love so much, and when you talk about how happy they are, it's the giddiness because then she turns to him and says, we're doing a fucking podcast. And I'm like, how are you this giddy about this? You have toured the world.
Yeah, the biggest star in the world.
One of the most successful artists of all time.
Yeah.
And you're excited to do your boyfriend's podcast at this level. That also just further illustrates just how close these two are and how deeply in love these two are. And they're fully in the very, very giddy stage. Very much so still. 2 years in. Which I love. Like she was a schoolgirl in that moment.
Yeah,
very
cute. She was. Obviously, we're recording this conversation before we've been able to see the entire interview between them. So I'm sure there'll be much more to unpack. But I'm going to hang on every single word between them. I feel like the world is so excited about this. And I just love their united front doing this together. Like this is the Swifties have been waiting for TS12 for some time.
Yes.
And so for him to be looped into this excitement with her fandom and everything, again, it's just giving team. And I love that.
Dare I say they've reached new heights?
Ooh.
It feels like they have.
They really have.
So what we know about the album itself, it's the mint green and orange kind of theme. Did you notice that her lipstick was a shade of orange?
I did not, but it doesn't surprise me.
Departure from her usual red. Also, orange being a prominent color in this new artwork. If you mix the colors red and yellow, which are the colors of the Kansas City Chiefs, what color do you get?
Oh,
you get orange.
Whoa.
So
is that a thing?
I don't know. Is it a thing or am I also in the corners of Reddit that you are in?
I love that so much. What I love also is that this album was produced predominantly by Max Martin, who was a producer. Well, I mean, Britney and all the biggest pop stars. But this is the producer she worked with on 1989. So Jack Antonoff not as much involved in this one, which is kind of an interesting shift for her because he's like her guy. But back to Max Martin, back to the pop hits, like because she's also in an excited celebratory time of her life, and I love when her music reflects that.
Yes, so I think you're totally right.
Like we're coming up on a return to form with probably some big bops.
And also, like, even the theme itself, the life of a showgirl, think about the visuals for something like that.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be so great and so sexy. Yes. And I'm already all in, as you know. You're right.
100%. Same. I'm bought in. Let's go. T-Swift.
Yes.
We're here now.
Also, really interesting article, cover actually, of Travis on the cover of GQ. Pretty revealing.
I'm only laughing just because of those ridiculous pictures of him.
Oh my gosh.
Trav is feeling himself right now, and you can tell in those pictures he's got like a snake. He's got
on a four-wheeler, fur hood,
like
boots, alligator wrestling.
Not quite like a Brad Pitt moment, but he was trying hard.
No, it had a little touch of absurdity to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he felt the absurdity or
it did. It seems like he was really just feeling himself, which is, he's having fun with it, and it's great. I loved the article. When we last spoke about them, we talked about how, he's cut his hair and how I really felt like that was a big declaration of him kind of returning to his sport and committing to this next season, which is likely going to be his last. And he did say in the article about that defeat last year, he said, I think I might have slipped a little bit because I did have a little more focus in trying to set myself up with opportunities that came up. And he was excited to venture into a new world of acting and being an entertainer. And he says, I shouldn't say I shouldn't have done it, but I'm just saying my work ethic is such that I have a lot of pride in what I do. And just basically saying that he feels he let himself and his fans down.
And the team.
By getting distracted by the Hollywood stuff. And I just love that he's acknowledging it.
Yep.
He's recommitting himself back to getting the job done. And it really feels like a big takeaway from this article was it's Super Bowl time now.
Exactly. Yeah. You nailed it when you said that. You the focus, the haircut, all of it looked like a guy who was standing on business.
Yes.
I also love that he has the same level of giddiness about his sport that she has about what she does. Like they have this lack of trying to be cool.
Yeah.
They are just people who are really joyful about the places that they're in and the things they get to do. They're not like, oh, it's no big deal. Because he said in the article that some of the older players in the NFL were like, man, you really do celebrate every time, every score, every touchdown, every point. And he's like, we're in the NFL. This is really cool shit.
Right.
And he still maintains that after all these years and after all the success, where it could be easy to be a little bit jaded or like indifferent,
bored by it.
He doesn't have any of that.
Take it for granted.
And she doesn't have that either. And I think that's one of the most aligned characteristics they both have.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
They're both looking at each other going like, can you fucking believe this?
Look at where we
this
are.
Is so cool.
This is awesome.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
and I think that. I do too. And I think more of that is what people want to see. I don't love people who play things as cool. I've never, that's never been my vibe. I always think
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. He talks also a lot about their partnership. So he's very open. They ask openly about Taylor. He's open about their relationship. And he really talks about how he's like a fan of hers, because I think in the article they were a little apprehensive, like they didn't want to make him feel like her sidekick by asking about her.
Right.
And he was kind of like, no, I love being her sidekick. And when I'm her sidekick, I'm her biggest fan, and I'm the front and center and singing to all the songs. I love the art. I love what she does. I respect her as an artist. And then he says, and then she's a fan of mine. And when it's her turn to be my fan, like I feel all of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's another beautiful characteristic that he depicts in this article, just how they really back each other, support each other. And there isn't like one star here. It's like, it's a give take and it's an ebb and flow, which I think in my marriage, I feel like, it's not always 50-50. Sometimes it's 80-20 on one side and sometimes it's 80-20 on the other. And that's a beautiful thing. And like, as long as you're in sync with those sort of waves of life and different focuses in the family and stuff like that feels really like a healthy relationship.
It really does.
Yeah. He's not trying to compete with her.
No. He's
not trying to downplay it. If anything, he is bigging her up to the next level. Like he is so sweet about it. Do you think,
love it.
Well, first of all, he better win this Super Bowl. Like,
there's so much pressure.
Like after all this, like, whoo. Talk about
they
pressure.
have to make it too, right? You don't just need to win. Like you need to win the games to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got to like actually,
it's a lot.
There's a lot of things that have to happen between now and then. He seems very confident, but like anything can happen, and you're also relying on this whole other team to do their thing.
Yep. And you're a year older. There's lots of things there.
Lots of things.
Right.
So
you're right.
Praying that all goes according to plan. And then I don't know, like, do you do you think there's a possibility that in this whole like brand of Travis and Taylor that she could perform at the Super Bowl?
Whoa, you just blew my mind.
Because last year people were like, she's going to come out on stage. I'm like, there's no way. They've never done that in their relationship yet. But now that they're kind of getting to the place where they are building strategically, and she is in the business of Travis, and she is backing him so hard, I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
If she were I don't know.
I mean, I love it for all the reasons I love it so much.
Yeah.
But if he is there to focus on football this season and to win,
True.
is that
the best recipe?
Is that a distraction? Like, could he shouldn't even know who the halftime performer is.
Right.
If he's like locked in.
You're right. Okay, fair.
But I love it.
I just let my dreamer mind get a little carried away.
And we'd love to see it.
That's coming from nothing. That's just my imagination.
Now the rumors are wild. Now there's headlines everywhere.
We did that. We started that rumor.
I do love when we do that.
I actually would love to start that rumor.
Oh my gosh. Send it out, folks.
Just credit me.
Yep.
And the N3 podcast. Thank you.
Love it. Let's get to Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Our girl. On the cover of Vanity Fair. I agree. The cover, not great. And the photos looked a little AI to me. They didn't even really look like her. I didn't love that.
I just think like she's America's sweetheart.
Yes.
Always has been, always will be.
Yes.
The face, the fitness,
the physique,
the body,
those
like
arms.
All of it is like goals. I didn't even see her in it. Like you said, like it just felt like so editorial and so touched up that it just wasn't even, and then it just didn't possess her essence. Like this like sweetheart essence, this sort of like she's the most sort of like beautifully simple.
She's a t-shirt and jeans and a flip-flop kind of gal.
Yeah, or like a white button up.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what she's always been famous for. And I felt like this was a departure in a way that wasn't memorable or great in any way, and just didn't stand out as like a great cover.
It didn't. You're right, because what I took away from, if I'm going to juxtapose what I saw in the images and what I read in the article, the article, what came out to me the most was this is a woman who has nothing to prove.
Yes.
Anymore.
Or hide.
Yeah. She is so comfortable.
Yes.
She is feeling so good. She is in the most wonderful place in all of her relationships with herself and with her friends and with like all of that. But then the images didn't really depict, kind of where she is.
Yeah.
What I will say though, when the description of her home was being articulated by the author, it felt like this Zen garden, where a place where like elevated cortisol doesn't exist.
Oh my God.
Like, that for me is porn. That idea of like,
just this place where like, cortisol goes to die.
No, I live in Lego shrapnel land. My house is the opposite. I am in elevated cortisol levels at all times. But I love that for her too, because it just really reflects where she is in this very peaceful, very grounded state where she talked about knowing her worth and feeling no way about calling shots and asking for what she deserves, and not in a way that was like demanding or diva or any. It was just like, I know what I'm doing,
what I bring
here,
to the table.
And and then to have her friends chime in too.
Ooh. I mean, not just any friends. So I didn't realize that Sandra Bullock and Jen Aniston were best friends.
Neither did I
until this moment.
Neither did I.
And then pops up like, and it was like burying the lead of like. They interviewed Sandra Bullock for this cover story about Jen, and it turns out they've been best friends for over 15 years.
Best under
the radar, really. I love that they have each other.
So do I.
Oh my God, like this made me so happy, and it's perfect. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, they really share a very similar essence and similar values just from the outside in. Like from my viewpoint, they're very similar in how they've carried themselves in their careers. They've both been through some major scandals and have carried themselves with so much grace and class and resilience. They're so classy and dignified and obviously gorgeous and huge stars, like the biggest in the world, but just have this kind of girl next door about them,
like a real one.
A real one.
Real one.
Oh my God, can you imagine? So they've been best friends this whole time, and now we're just learning a little bit more. So Sandra opens up about Jen, about their friendship, about, you know, how they bond over sort of like the fascination with them and the fascination of their love lives and how they kind of cope with that together.
And they like to try to figure out where
the origin
of the headlines.
It was in 3 podcasts when I declared that Taylor Swift was going on the Super Bowl. Like, we just made it out of thin air. And I think that's kind of what she was saying is like, you know, they talk about the Obama rumors with Jen Aniston and obviously the Pedro Pascal rumors after they were seen going to dinner one time. Sorry.
We did cover that.
That was
us. Put that on our tab.
Yeah, I'll put that on the tab. But that's like, so funny. But I mean, I just really wanted that to happen. And
Same.
Sandra does say she understands the world's perpetual interest in Aniston's love life. She says, quote, she's so beloved and you go, I want that person to have their person, even if that person doesn't want a person.
That's right.
And so I kind of loved that quote. It's like, yeah, we want Jen to be happy and to find an amazing person, a la Pedro, a la Obama, a la, you know, name an amazing man in Hollywood. But Jen's over there kind of being like, guys, relax. I'm good.
I'm real good.
I'm actually good.
Yeah. I host these dinner parties on Sunday nights with my friends, which I also loved that little window into her life.
Yes.
So it's Jason Bateman and his wife and their children. It's Jimmy Kimmel and his family. Adam Sandler is one of her best friends, which for me tells me everything I need to know about Jen. I already believed. I have interviewed her over the years and she was nothing but the person that you see. Gracious and kind and a little bit like self-deprecating, but welcoming and warm and really tried to break down any kind of wall between interviewee and interviewer.
Nice.
And I could see her being that way with her, with everybody, but also the fact that she's friends with Adam Sandler just tells me that she's cool and a real one.
Friends for a long time.
She did talk about that tumultuous time with the Brad split and the Angie dating and the love triangle that she found herself in that she wanted no part of, obviously. And the devastation of that and how she's like, it didn't want it to happen, but it happened. And when asked, you know, how did she get through that? She said, you just pick yourself up by the bootstraps and you keep on walking, girl. And I was like, wow. And then I started to go back because I remember obviously when that happened. So Brad and Angie met on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. A year later, they did a cover of W Magazine and that whole spread inside domestic bliss. So a person that she was married to a year ago, like imagine that. 1 year later is with a whole pretend family in a magazine spread with this woman he fell in love with on this project, and you're just there shattered, like literally shattered into pieces.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that. And then she went and did Vanity Fair after that.
Yes.
Which was, I think, maybe one of the last. Was she done it since then? Anyway, that was 20 years ago. In response to that, and talked about that time as well, because probably felt the need to say something and had to come out, but really didn't know how to do it and said it was really jarring and it was terrifying. And, you know, the world took pity on her, which nobody wants to be in that position.
Absolutely not.
I just really looked at it so differently than I did when I reported on it back then, because she even talked about being a piñata, like people just bashing her around. And obviously I feel terrible for, you know, some of the ways in which we reported on things back then. And just looking at it now going, wow, that person really went through it. Imagine you walk by Jimmy in a year from now and he's got a whole new life. Like devastation.
No,
and then the world is consumed
and
by
in
it.
the public eye. And it was just such a sensationalized. I mean,
it really
it was a really big deal, but also it was sensationalized and just like, and at the time, tabloid culture was vicious.
But what a dick move on Brad and Angelina to do that. Like that was a real dick move.
Yeah, they didn't conduct themselves well.
They did not.
She also talks about her friendship with Gwyneth Paltrow.
So all roads come back to Gwen, don't they?
All roads come back.
They really do.
To the T.
Yes. And she was asked about, you know, do you guys talk about Brad having both been with him?
Duh.
Of course
we do.
We're girls.
Yeah, we're girls. What do you expect us to talk about?
But I loved it because I was like, he's going to read that
or
hear that, or the headline's going to come up somewhere for him and he's going to know.
Well, I was going to say karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, and karma's, you know, the place that Jen is in this peaceful, beautiful place where she's so good with herself and, you know, life isn't perfect, but she's set up a life that she's really happy in, and she's surrounded by loving people
Yes.
who love and appreciate her. And I don't know that Angie and Brad can say the same.
That's a really good point.
I think that they have found themselves in a karmic place.
That's right. Karma
like, yes, his movie did well and whatever, but their lives fell apart.
I don't think there's peace.
There's no peace there.
Jen projects peace.
Yes.
Very much so.
So I'm like, this is just another reminder of good old universe serving up everything.
Yeah,
she doesn't talk directly about Jim Curtis, her new boyfriend or her new romance, but they do talk about him in the article.
Yes.
They reference him. They've been seen a whole bunch in the last couple weeks together, out and about in New York, obviously staying in the same hotel together, out with Jason and his wife. And just really out there,
yes.
like not trying to hide it, not trying to pretend like they're not doing the thing. They are. And Bateman does talk about Jen and her sort of like challenges with men. And he says, you don't need to be some superhero to grab her attention. If you're comfortable in your skin, she gravitates to you. The challenge is for a guy to see past her fame and charisma and presence and beauty, to not be distracted by that and tune into the stuff deep at the core.
Right.
So, I don't know if that was a nod to Jim,
maybe,
but it does feel like he's gotten the seal of approval from her friends. And, it feels like this one's going to be like a big serious love for her.
I think so too. And the nod to him too also came from the mention of the crystals. She's a crystals girly.
Yes. And it did end on that note.
It did.
Yeah.
So it was, she was suggesting to the author to bring certain crystals into her life.
Right.
One of them was for eternal love. And there was a few other mentions.
Love of quartz.
That one, the quartz.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
So I felt like that was a little wink to her man.
Love that.
I did too. No, that was great.
Jen.
I love seeing her in a happy
Jen.
place.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is a beautiful
And
thing.
I would love to see that for Sandra now.
Yeah, me
'Cause
too.
She's been through a lot.
Okay, let's move on to Kelly Clarkson. It's a tough story.
Yeah.
But what we now know answers a lot of the questions that were being asked earlier in the year.
Yes.
So we know that she was absent from her show for some time, and there was questions as to why, and that nothing was really being shared, and there was speculation that it was a family health matter. And now we know that her ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock, was battling cancer, has been for 3 years, but I guess the last year had been the toughest of the journey, and he passed away from it was melanoma that he had. So she was
terrible,
awful, devastating. And she's got young children, so her removal from her work projects to focus on her family and really to help her kids through what is really anticipatory grief in that time. I mean, I've always thought Kelly Clarkson was one of the most incredible, strong women for a number of reasons, but to be dealing with all of this while, in a lot of ways supporting an ex-husband who was not great. I don't want to speak ill of somebody who's passed, but the divorce was very, very contentious.
Yes.
Nasty. It was nasty, downright nasty. So to be able to show up in the way that she did, we're presuming, for him, for the kids, to be able to do that while putting on performances for her daily show really is heroic. Like, there's really no other word for what she pulled off. As you said about her daytime talk show, that isn't just to sit down and have a chit chat. That is a full on performance, and to be able to tap in and find that with everything else going on. I mean,
and
Kelly Clarkson is
it's not
heroic.
just singing, it's like it's also holding the energy in the room and holding space for other celebrities to share. Like, that is a tall, as you know better than anyone, like the emotional and sort of like physical energy that requires is crazy. And then to be dealing with behind the scenes, you're right, it is heroic. And she did it. She really stuck it out to the very last second. So last week she posted, so she's been doing her Vegas residency now for a couple of weeks. She posted, I think it was on like the Wednesday, a message saying, I have to postpone the rest of this residency. Please understand, like the father of my children is very ill. And we were like, oh, wow. So now we know. And then it was less than 24 hours later that it was announced that he passed. So obviously things went from bad to worse, but she really stuck it out to the very last second. There was footage almost that you feel like you shouldn't be watching of her singing a couple days prior to that, and obviously going through it, like sobbing on stage uncontrollably, like having a hard time just pulling it together. It's remarkable that she got as far as she did.
No kidding.
And this is a very complicated, I mean, death is horrible. He was a young guy, like, you know, he was like in his 40s with 2 young children. It's devastating. It's tragic that he passed. The level of sort of like messiness and sort of complexity that this would bring for her to process in light of how publicly nasty this divorce was, including, you know, them trying to get custody. Each of them were trying to sue each other for primary custody. There was a lot of messy financial stuff where it was like, you know, he managed her career for a number of years, and there was some not so kosher dealings on the back end that were uncovered, where he was basically stealing money from her contract. And then she had to go and rise above and take care of him. Page 6 says that she actually did care for him in a lot of his last months, and care for her children and make peace with everything. Because I imagine that would be something that you would want to do at the end of the life of someone that you loved and someone that your kids love. I just think like, whew, you know, we don't want to talk about, of course, we don't want to talk ill of the dead, but there was a lot of bad stuff that went on in there. And so she rose above, yes, and then to the next level of rising above to process and heal the stuff that went on during those few years after her divorce in 2020. And we're only in 2025, so it hasn't been that long.
That's right.
So she's had to do a lot of work.
That's right.
To kind of to get to this place, and
it's truly amazing.
Yeah,
it is.
It's
awful to have also the responsibility to fans,
right?
Which is that piece that I think weighs on performers, knowing people travel and book hotels and flights and want to see your show and in Vegas. So also have that in the back of your mind on top of everything else. As you said, she went right to the wall with how many Vegas shows she could do.
Yeah, she did.
Not wanting to disappoint people while also dealing with all of everything that was going on with her family and and really first and foremost her children. Just really she's an amazing human being. She really is.
She's got lots of good people around her
right
now.
I hope she's feeling all the love and support that she gave out coming back to her.
And again, hopefully, you know, the universe will take care of her in that way.
Yes, I agree.
Apparently she is coming back for a 7th season of her talk show. There was, you know, rumblings when we didn't know exactly what was going on, whether she was going to sign on for the next season, whether she was just kind of like all the way done with it. But apparently, as of now, she's still locked and loaded for season 7, which I imagine would start filming September. Yeah, usually. So that's soon. So we'll see what happens. I hope she takes the time that she needs.
I agree.
Women have a tendency not to do that.
That is a fact.
Because of all the responsibilities and pressures and things. And I imagine she's got a lot of them. But we're just sending her lots of love.
We sure are. Yeah. There was also a lot of love for the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
On stage. It's like not only from the fans, but they themselves were really blown away by that performance.
Yeah.
Nick especially. So the Jonas Brothers put on a show.
Well, they're in their 20-year
Jonas20
tour. So Jonas has been around for, I guess they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. Like,
honestly, it doesn't make any sense. I feel like there's a wrinkle in the timeline.
Something happened. Something happened. Poof, we got here. I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They've been around for 20 years. Don't you remember when Camp Rock was filming?
Yeah.
And we covered it extensively because
100%.
They stayed at the Four Seasons and the whole of the city went absolutely crazy. Right. Like you couldn't even get down the street because it was hordes of fans.
Yes.
Yeah. That was like peak Joe Bros.
Yes. Well, I like to joke about this 20-year kickoff tour. Like Beyonce had Miley and like Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Joe Bros had like Jesse McCartney and Demi, which is no shade. It's more just like a sign of the times.
It is. Jesse McCartney was a throwback to my YTV days. I was so happy to see him back. Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy for him too.
Yeah.
So they toured together back in the day, I guess, on their first tour. So they brought him out, which I thought was generous. And, you know, of course, with the camp rock, like, again, this is not our generation. Like, I wasn't a camp rock girly.
No, I was
were
not.
a little, you know, past that gen. But it was a really big deal. This was like a big Disney to do. And
Huge.
Demi and Joe had a romance back in the day.
Yeah.
After Joe had a romance with Taylor. He was like a Lothario at the time. Like, he was like a heartthrob.
Why is everyone sleeping on Nick? Nick is the hottest Jonas brother.
Well, no, Nick got Miley and
True.
Selena.
Fact.
So
Okay.
like he was okay.
Choose your Jonas right now.
Well, it's gonna be Nick, but I'm a little icked by him. But we can talk about that
Okay,
later.
fine. Sorry.
So no, I like where your head's at. But so anyway, cute to see Demi and Joe singing their big camp rock songs.
Yeah.
Again, it didn't mean anything to me, the song.
No.
The only thing that meant something to me is her voice.
Wow.
God damn it.
I know.
Like, it's kind of like that Miley thing. Like, I'm not going to compare them because I think it's apples and oranges, but it's like people sleep on this amazing talent.
She's incredible.
Because of some of the stuff that has gone on and the antics and the drama. But woo, Demi Lovato can sing. That girl is talented.
I saw her live.
Did you?
In Barbados. So again, not, you know, a wonderful setup, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't, you know, stadium everything. It was
Right.
it was a small festival.
Mm-hmm.
Like blew
Lights
the
out.
island up,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
woman.
yeah.
She is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I love seeing her on stage in this moment too. She looked so beautiful. She looked like she like happy, but like in her place where she wanted to be. And that's how what I got from them too, because the Jonas Brothers haven't had, you know, 20 years of yay celebration where these bros, they broke up for a while.
Yeah.
Things were not great.
Right.
But it's almost like they came back and did exactly like you said. Just go back to the thing you're good at.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When you said that about the Biebs, like go back to what you do. And they went back to what they do and look at the response they received.
Totally.
They brought back all those good feelings. And really for the Camp Rock Gen, which is not us, we're just like,
Okay.
okay. It brought people back to like a simpler time.
I agree.
And that's what
I
people
think
really
they gave
needed.
us what we need. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, also with the Disney thing, I think a lot of these stars who grew up in that Disney realm, like spend most of their lives, like trying to outrun it.
That's
like,
it. You're right.
To sort of like forget that they were Disney stars.
Yes.
And reimagine themselves and revamp their image. And I love how they're all in comfortable enough places now that they can return to those Disney roots and not like cringe at themselves or not be ashamed of where they come from. It is a huge part of what made them superstars, all
Absolutely.
of them. So it's just really nice to see. It's kind of like when we saw Miley, you know, singing The Climb after she didn't sing it for so long, and all those sort of like songs from those early pop star, like late Hannah Montana days. And so to see them coming out and like really belting out like a couple of Disney songs was awesome. Like I just like love that for everybody.
And it looked like they loved it.
They
because
did.
also for them, it was back
having
to like
fun.
a place that felt really good. There's
Yeah.
no way you couldn't sing this song 20 years later and not remember where you were
Yeah.
when it all popped off.
And celebrate where you are now. Everyone is happy and healthy and alive. I mean, let's not forget that Demi has had very, very vicious battle with addiction.
She did.
She was basically like almost died of an overdose, multiple overdoses.
Yep.
So just to celebrate, you know, that full circle moment and just being alive and just being on stage at this stadium in New Jersey with a huge arena full of fans that are just so excited to see you. Like that was great.
It was great.
And I
was
like
such
it
a feel
for her
good moment
too because Demi is just about to release a new album. She held a funeral for her pop music in 2022 and declared she was never going to do pop music again, which I just think was one of her rebellious moments. She's had some like
I love it.
annoying cringe moments. That was one of them.
I love it.
She's back to her pop roots. She's releasing this new pop album any minute now, and like just love her return to form again. And I listened to an interview with Chicks in the Office today with her from this week, where she talks about like, I thought about like what really worked for me. What did I love doing? And it's like, you know, the heart attack. It's those bops. That's a bop. Like confidence. It's all of those ones. And so I'm excited to see her back in the pop stage.
Me too. Mm-hmm. She's also a married woman now. She got married this summer.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian.
I didn't know that.
Jutes. Not to be confused with jorts.
Or Jews.
Jutes, everybody. He's a singer.
He looks like he might wear jorts, though.
Yeah, he looks like Jutes wearing jorts for sure.
Jutes probably wears jorts.
Jutes rocks jorts.
No,
Jutes and jorts.
They seem so happy. He was a writer on her album.
Yeah. He lives a sober lifestyle as well.
Yes.
So
good. We like that.
We love that.
I just want to quickly pop over to Nick and Priyanka for a second, because we haven't really talked about them. But I know you have a thing about like if a couple is going above and beyond on social media, like proclaiming love and like being PDA, that like there's probably trouble in paradise.
Yes.
Do you feel that way about Nick and Priyanka?
No, they just gross me out in general. I'm just generally like, ugh.
No, like he's so hot. The way that they operate on social media, it gives me the biggest ick.
Yeah,
like, have you seen?
Is a silo is hot.
Right.
Nick with Priyanka, no thank you.
And it's no disrespect. She's gorgeous.
Nothing to do. It's just they're
just together.
No, I don't like it.
It's too much.
Okay, but who's your Jonas then? Did you answer this?
Like, okay, I guess it's Nick if it's a silo, but it's Joe if it's not.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
And who's the other? Not Kevin.
Probably not.
Probably not Kevin is your choice.
Sorry, Kev.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin, the Backstreet Boy, though, as you know, is mine.
I do know that. And mine is Howie.
I still can't with that information.
I'm just gonna have to stick with that now forever.
You're Howie. You're
I said it once and now it's true forever.
It's just a tattoo at this point.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me, Howie.
Oh, well, I'm crying off my lashes, so that's a great time to wrap up the show.
It is.
As always, the most fun. Thank you for listening, watching, if you're over on YouTube, and engaging with us and commenting and sharing and all of that. We love hearing from you.
We do.
And we love that you join us every week. You're the best.
Have the best week, everyone.
We'll see you next week.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.